Hello, hello, hello. Who's all on? I see we have Tamra, Laney, Shane. Shane, where's your video? We need to kick this bad boy off and start our adventure for everyone. So Shane, if you are on, I'm going to invite you to actually use the link that I sent to you just a little bit ago. Take a look at your email and you will see, I'm going to have you jump off and then jump back on with the other email if you would, sir. That way you will be on camera. Oh, I see you are asking a question.
There we are.
We have Mr. Mark Von Muser.
Hello, hello.
I'm going to invite Shane in here. Shane, are you there? Shane, are you there?
Shane, are you there?
Okay, well, we won't be using this one for a playback. I'll tell you that right now. So Shane, if you're listening in, disconnect, take a look at your email. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to make it easy on you. I'm going to send that to you right now so we can kick this bad boy off. But you need your special unique ID in order to be able to come on camera and participate. So what I'm going to do is find you here in the chat and send this to you specifically. So take a look in the chat box for the admin, and that one is for Shane. So Mark, it's going to be you and I guess we're going to kick this thing off, and Shane is going to join us here in just a second, and we're going to be able to introduce. Actually, I'm going to have you introduce Shane since you have such a tremendous welcoming and introduction for him. So welcome to Take Shape for Life and a Healthy Holiday Adventure. Our goal for you today is to be able to make the decision to take action before 2016 starts so that you hit the starting gate running. This is not a wait till January 1st and make a New Year's resolution, which ends up in the drawer in 2 weeks. This is about making a decision and empowering your life so that you can actually make the discoveries, make the adventure, make the mission happen for you, your family, and for anybody else that wants to participate in that. I'm your host, Chad Cooper. And we've got the awesome Mark Von Muser, Jesse Torres, Gina Ruby, and Shane Jenkins that are part of our team here, and Brenda Schinke as well. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Mark Von Muser. Mark is a man of extraordinary talent. He is a co-peer of Shane from the Navy days, and so he has started from his adventures serving his country to now serving you and serving the world and expanding that mission from a peaceful perspective, as we hope that the Navy always does. But Mark is a coaching director for one of the most powerful organizations on the planet and has really got a tremendous skill set. And that is as he surrounds and brings in the talent based on character, and then says, hey, we can train the skill set. And so that's really what we're doing here. Is Mark's passion, Mark's interest is about bringing in people who really want to have a heart of living a full life. And then we will give you the skill set and teach you how to fish and teach you how to empower yourself and have that healthy body, healthy finances, and healthy mind. So it is my pleasure to introduce and turn this over to the extraordinary Mark Von Muser.
Thank you, Chad. That's quite the introduction. So thank you. And while everybody is logging on, we're having a couple of technical challenges right now with people jumping on. So there we go. So, but I'm excited to be on here today. And again, one of the things, oh, I keep getting bumped over here.
So it looks like Mark may have had an internet interruption here, and he's coming back on from another pathway, but I'm going to go through and introduce you to what is Take Shape for Life. So you back, Mark? No audio from you, though. We lost your audio. I see you on twice here. So you're on two browser windows, probably? So we're going to get going over here. Sorry for the technical delays. It looks like our Christmas holiday mentality is maybe started early, and we've we've decided to go on holiday here at the moment. So we got Jessie Torres, who is with us as well, and Jessie is our Radiant Goddess. Jessie is an invaluable asset to this team. She brings the radiance and energy, as well as incredible smarts, fierce grace that allows you to be able to do this from a place of heart, not just from a place of head or hands. So Jessie is one of those people that you only come across once in, or maybe once or twice in a lifetime, and we are extremely fortunate to have her as part of our team to be able to serve you. Mark, you're back on, it looks like.
Can you hear me?
We got you. 10 by 10.
Awesome. So yeah, part of today is anybody that's going to be watching this video too. And again, it's kind of like the technology challenges that we're having right now. Just, you know what? That's what happens in life. The question is, are you committed to the outcome anyway? And if you are, then you can get there. That's one of the traits that we noticed, again, and when you look at people that have lost a lot of weight, you're going to find that, guess what? It wasn't always smooth sailing either. The people that really end up transforming their body and their life are people that are more focused on the outcome than the challenges that get in the way. And I mean, I've seen that as well with this program, with any other program. You know what? The key is about how is your level of commitment. And so I'm honored also to have Jessie on here as well. Jessie, again, I'll let her tell a little bit about her story. But again, here's a lady that didn't really need it. Everybody else said you already look great, but why did she get involved? And she's tried countless diets in the past, so why was she able to use this to get the final, 10 pounds off to get to her dream body? Same thing for Chad. Here's a guy who's a self-made millionaire, retired at 35, professional triathlete, you name it, been there, done that. Why would he be here? Doesn't need to lose weight. Gina Ruby, another one. She didn't need to lose weight, so why is she using this? Shane Jenkins, Master Chief in the Navy, total butt kicker. He's gone as far as you can go. One of a handful of master divers in the entire Navy. One of a handful of, I think it was a dozen underwater welders as well. And so when you see the caliber of people that are associated, it's really important. And Shane, I know, is down already 26 pounds already. I know I've used this program to drop 51 pounds. It works flat out, best I've found in 30-some years, and we'll talk about it tonight. But Jessie, tell it just briefly about, okay, you've been struggling. Give a little bit, people watching, give a 30-second, minute, kind of background about your journey here.
Okay, well, like you said, didn't have a lot of weight to lose, but I was at that point where I plateaued in my fitness and was having a tough time getting those last 10 pounds off. And I decided to come on board as I started to see people losing weight on this program, and I thought, wow, how magical to see how quickly this product works. So I'm going to give it a try, and I was so impressed by the not only the food and the process of this whole company, but what it gave to me was the believability that it's possible. And when I started to see other people lose weight as well so quickly and really start to love their bodies and get excited, I was hooked, because I love seeing people really honor their health and being excited about looking in the mirror. As I know, I've struggled my whole life with my weight, and that was something that's been a challenge forever. I yo-yo diet my whole life, and until I really got to a point where I wanted to understand what I felt or believed about my body, did I then make a difference in my own health. And coming to this program and seeing the success that it was able to give me, it gave me a whole new lease on life. And now I know that it's something that's sustainable, and I've built the habits to keep me here. And that's now what I want to give to others.
Now let me ask you too, because again, people see you now, don't believe it, but you were struggled with weight your entire life. Yeah. You've tried Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, you've tried countless other programs. How many of them have you tried, would you say? And two, as you've done that, how does this program we're going to talk about tonight rank?
Okay, that's a great question. So, like you said, I've done Jenny Craig, I've done Lindora, I've done Weight Watchers, just countless ways. I've even tried to mentally push myself through it. I've also, back in my younger years, have gone through not eating. I'll just skip meals and that'll get me there. And back when, I was, in my early 20s, that might have worked to get me into my jeans that weekend, but it was not sustainable. And ultimately, I yo-yo dieted the whole time. And when I came across this, it was like, it was a consistent method. It gave me the ability to have food at my fingertips. I was consistently eating every 3 hours, so my metabolism was working. I mean, all the dynamics that are put in this program are put in place so strategically that you can't help but have success if you follow the program. So it was different because not only did it provide me the meal plan, but it also the coaching, which is just another dynamic that I absolutely love, because the camaraderie and having an accountability buddy, which is huge, having a support system, I mean, all of that, because most people, to go on a diet is not difficult. We all know how to lose weight, but it was having that group of people that would support me, that would be there with me. If my accountability buddy wasn't going to go or be at the gym, I know I would have hit snooze 100 times. So all of the different things that I've learned throughout this process have been what has led me to success, where I didn't have that in any other program, not to this level.
I love it. And Jesse, let me ask you as well, they're getting some really weird computer just kicked me off again. But kind of when you did that, how important was the coaching and the support? Because you've been there, done that before. Why, did the coaching and support also play a part?
Yeah, that was like I was saying, that was a big piece that I didn't have in any other program. It's kind of like, here's our program, here you go, good luck. And part of it, again, having had struggled with my diet my whole life, I've done that before. I've tried different programs, and sometimes I would push through, but ultimately I would fall off. And so without that support, I just go back to my old routines, and I wasn't building new habits. Mm-hmm. I was just doing the next diet to get me to a goal, and then I'd fall off again. So the support, the team, the coaching, all of that is the key to making this a sustainable lifestyle and building new habits, because now I have different patterns that I've now anchored and created by support of the team. So that's the big key.
Now let me ask you as well, because you've been helping several clients, whether it's Lucianne, Nancy, Carmen, how are they doing? They just started less than a month ago. How are they doing now?
Oh, they're doing fantastic, and that's what's super exciting, is to see them now, lose 12 pounds, 8 pounds in a week. Nancy, Lucianne 12. I think no, Lucianne's down 14. Carmen's down 12. I mean, that to me is thrilling, because we get to see their pictures, posting of pants that no longer fit them, and they're loving to look in the mirror again, which that was a big deal. That was, there's a lot of pain involved when you carry excess weight, not just because you're carrying the weight physically, but because you start to not recognize who you see in the mirror. And when people are excited now to see that, it's thrilling to be a part of that. And so they are doing fantastic, and still moving forward.
Yeah, I love it. And do we know, has Shane been able to log on yet? I wanted to chat with Shane too, if he's available. So I'm not sure.
He's on, but he's using the general link here and not his admin link. So that's what's preventing Shane from being able to do that. And then
see if let's go ahead and start, and if we can get Shane on, let's jump in, because again, I want to keep us on time and make sure that we hit our outcomes. So let's go ahead and jump in, and chat, if you could share your screen, and let's dive in. And Jesse and Gina, and we'll get Shane on, and then Katie and a couple others as well as they pop on.
You got it. So does everybody see my screen here? Let me get these things off of the way. Everybody's able to see that, Mark?
I can.
Yeah.
It says
Yes.
Logitech, though, webcam controller at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, there it's gone.
Now it's
Okay.
gone.
So, guys, what we're going to talk about today is really health is only part of the challenge and part of the solution. Because one of the things that we really want to look at is both a healthy body, healthy finances, and a healthy mind. Because there's some
people. Screen here real quick, Mark. So go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to make a correction, though.
Okay, so one of the things that you guys, when we talk about it, this program we're going to share with you tonight, most people come in here because they want to find, lose weight. And to Jesse's point, hey, they've got a reunion coming up. They want to look good in January, whatever. They've got a reason that's important. But what happens, though, is we find more and more people join this program, realize once we dive in that, hey, you know what, there's another level for their finances, too. And what happens right now is what happens if you had your healthy body taken away. I know that's why Chad's on the call. Chad had to go in again for recent surgery. He's gone from high-level athlete to now all of a sudden he was on crutches. For me, I had a cancer scare, and not to mention hernias, and next thing you know, it was a result of my bad living and my bad thought process and being overweight. I'm proud to announce, though, that I'm cancer-free. But again, there is a penalty for living an unhealthy life. There is a penalty, and you will watch your life disappear. Again, and this whole program we're going to talk about is what if you could reverse it? So my question to you is, why are you here? What is your outcome for being on the call? So right now, for example, out of all the bodies on the planet, forget about your age. I don't care if you're 75 or 20. If there was 1,000 bodies from the fattest person on the planet all the way to the fittest, and you could pick one body to go through this life in, which one would you pick? Is it the one that you're living in? My guess would be no. And if that's the case, you're in the right spot. Because we're going to show you a proven plan that's been used with over 1 million people successfully and has been used by over 20,000 doctors in 30 years of trial and error. It freaking flat out works. And so we're going to share with you on that too, but you're also going to find too, once you get your health back, you also are going to see as well that health about a healthy mind. Jesse alluded to it. How much of your life feels like, you know what, God, I'm embarrassed about the way I look and feel. I'm exhausted at 2 o'clock. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to, if we get Shane on here, because he's such a hard worker. He's in the Navy, and they get every dime out of you. He's a Master Chief as high as you could go. And 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, he was exhausted. How much of the people watching this are exhausted versus living an empowered life? And lastly is powerful finances and healthy finances. Because again, if you're stressed out financially, you're stressed out about your body, that does a whole lot of things to not just your immediate health, but your long-term health. And we're going to talk about how to add life to your years and years to your life. So let's go on, move the next slide, Chad. So again, basically,
are they showing up okay? Are they displaying and rendering okay?
No, they're too big. So I can only see how healthy are you. So again, one of the things that we want to do is check in with where you are. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh my God, I love the way I look in a bathing suit, I am filled with vitality, that's a 10. A 1 is, oh my gosh, I'm not going outside, I hope I don't run into anybody, I'm embarrassed and ashamed, I don't want to be intimate with somebody because I'm overweight, I feel like crap, that's a 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? You need to know, because if you're going to sugarcoat it, then we can't help you. The program won't help you. Because as long as people want to live in that belief that, you know what, I can't really do it. It's okay. I was in that it's okay. And that's how I ended up getting up to 212 pounds, 44.5-inch waist, and probably 40% body fat. So you want to start and check in and be honest. This is for you. You only get one life here, unless you're Hindu, in which case you get a lot of lives. But if you're not Hindu, you're going to only get one life to live. How are you going to live it? You can pick a 1 to a 10. If you're not at a 10 yet, you can have it. Let's look at your finances. Finances is somebody that's a 10, that's a Gina, that's a Chad. Doesn't mean you maybe have all the money you want, but you can live life on your terms. Gina lives a block and a half from the beach. She rides a motorcycle. She works 10, 20 hours a week doing what she loves. Chad retired at 35. The other scale is your survival mode. That's a 1. You're trying to figure out how are you going to pay your bills. You're stressed out. You're watching other people live your dream. Score it. Doesn't matter where you are, but what does matter is that you're honest about it. And lastly is healthy mind. How are you on that? Do you have time to pray? Do you have time to meditate? When was the last sunset and sunrise you actually took in? When it rained, did you go out and enjoy it? What's your overall mental strength? Do you get pissed off and lose it when you're in traffic or you're in line at somewhere? Or do you take advantage of the blessings in front of you? So scale it on a 1 to a 10. You want to have a 1 to a 10 and decide what life are you going to live. Again, most people come here to transform their body. We'll help you with that. But what about the other 2? What if you could have all 3? So if you could have optimal physical health, would you really want it? And while we might say that sounds like a redundant, stupid question, you'd be shocked at how many people have already mentally given up. But if you haven't given up and you know there's a little candle deep inside of you that knows you want more, you're in the right place. So we also are going to talk, and we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to really say it like it is. There's too many people sugarcoating the truth. Now, number 1, key elements to physical health. It's not one thing. You want to be at a healthy weight. Studies are just conclusive. You want to add years to your life, get in shape. Drop the extra weight. What you see on the outside also is the amount of extra fat around your heart. Your heart's not meant to work that hard. Healthy eating. If you don't develop the habits, you're going to yo-yo diet like Jesse used to do, like 70% of the country is doing. That's why 70% of the country's fat. Healthy motion. It's like an airplane. If it's flying, it will last almost indefinitely, but if you park an airplane, it will deteriorate rapidly. But most people, again, they spiral downwards. They're too heavy, they eat like crap and inconsistent, so they stop moving. It's a spiral down towards a premature death, and even before the premature death, it's a really crappy quality of life. Then they notice that they don't sleep good. They're sleeping, they wake up, they have sleep apnea. One of the fastest ways to cure and fix sleep apnea is lose weight. But then they aren't sleeping, so their body can't recover, and their body will accelerate their descent into mediocrity and premature death. And lastly, stress reduction. We're all mega stressed. That raises cortisol. It changes the hormones in your body. So when you spiral and go down, that's why 70% of our country is overweight.
Real quick with that, Mark, is yesterday, I heard a spot-on comment, and I have to say, just in looking at last week's results that we have from some of our clients and some of our coaches that started off on this as well, was said really well by Greg, and that was, we know that the plan works. The only failure is if you work the plan. And so right. I think that, that says if you want a physical health that is outstanding, healthy weight, healthy eating, healthy motion, sleep, and stress reduction, you have to be willing to work the plan, and we're going to help you with that. But we absolutely know without any qualms it works.
Yeah. And Chad, not just them it works. I know it works. I had started as a bodybuilder at 111 pounds when I was 21. And any of you guys knowing that, women are massively attracted to a 111-pound man. And so it took me 5, 6, 7 years of nonstop bodybuilding just to get up to 150. And I remember, I couldn't gain weight to save my life. When I started lifting, my bodybuilding partner said, go to Big McDonald's, get 2 Big Macs, 9-piece chicken McNuggets, and a large supersized fries. And I still couldn't gain weight. But something happened as I got older. Next thing you know, after I got burned out, I got up to 44.5-inch waist, and I was obese. Even my mom called me fat. She looked at me and goes, Mark, you're fat. It's like, holy crap, Mom, you're my mom. And she called it like it was. But then when I did it, I dabbled and I went back. I knew what to do, to your point, Chad, but I didn't want to do it anymore. I mean, I loved my fast food. I loved my ice cream. I just skipped meals because I was so busy. I did everything wrong. You could call it the sumo diet. And I got fat and like crazy. My fat boy clothes didn't work, so I bought bigger fat boy clothes. And I mean, I remember when I saw a picture of me, I'll find it sometime, and I had 3 chins. And I knew what happened, though, when we did this. When my daughter started getting bullied, that's when I started. That's when I put my ego aside, and I called, actually Gina helped a friend. I talked to her and I said, okay, I want to do it. I wasn't going to try. I did it. And over the next 2.5 months, I lost 51 pounds. It was easier than anything I had ever done in 20-some years of training, without a doubt. So to those of you that's too much too fast, hell no. My body loved it. I got back into my power zone. I had massive energy. All my scores and my cholesterol, all those improved rapidly. This worked like nothing I'd ever seen. And it wasn't until later that Gina, who's on the call, told me and explained, this has been around for 30 years, but originally it was only for doctors and clients through prescription. And I started to dive in and look. And what I found was it wasn't one thing. So the program, how you do it and keep it off, is this. MetaFast 5-in-1 plan. 5 small meals a day. It helps regulate your insulin like what Jesse was talking about, and 1 lean and green. You're going to relearn how your body put on the fat, and you're going to hack it in the other way. You're going to go ahead and show your body how that it has enough food so it will release the fat. Second, habits of health. This is not a just, hey, lose the weight and you're done. You're going to learn how to keep it off. There are proven habits that 90% of the people are ignorant to. Once you know those, you can keep it off. And lastly, you have a coach. Gina's one of my coaches. She helps me. And so you have a health coach there that can answer questions where you might think, oh my God, I'm slowing down. I'm not losing as fast. Great, talk to your coach. You know, I've seen something in one phone call and boom, you're right back in a fat burning zone. What you thought was just coffee wasn't just coffee. When you added 6 of those sugary things, next thing you know, you're knocking yourself out of a fat zone. So your coach will provide those distinctions to get you on track. Gina, did you want to explain any of that? Because I know you're the expert. And also, guys, Gina's been doing this for a decade. So, Gina, in terms of that, you know, you've seen it all, been there, done that. What would you say about the 3 that we just did? And then also, if you want to talk about these two people here. Awesome. Welcome aboard, Shane.
Hey, Shane. Yeah, especially with the holiday, with January 1st coming up, where the #1 New Year's resolution is lose weight. The biggest reason for failure is they don't have a program and they don't have accountability. So our program, there's a lot of diets out there, and there are some people that can do them on their own, but most fail because there isn't the consistency of the program, there isn't a transition in how do I do real life, and there's no accountability. So we really do put those 3 components together so we set everybody up for success. And when people get tempted or they get frustrated, we're there to educate, inspire, and encourage. And sometimes for those that like a little swift kick in the tush, there are those that like that kind of accountability. We're there because we care. And so that's where, if you put those 3 pieces together, a good program, accountability, and then other healthy habits that support all that, you're going to have success.
I agree. The only thing I would add on top of that is not just a good program. There's plenty of good. I didn't want good. And again, the Consumer Report readers interviewed 10,000 of their clients a few years back. They gave unsolicited response. What is the #1 fat burning program, weight loss, transformation program out of them all? And absolutely this program won hands down. And so this program is so powerful. It's the best, and that's partly why I ended up going here, because I wasn't married to any program, but I knew if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the very best, and this one hands down still holds that position.
And
so
Mark, and you use the word transformation, which is perfect. I wish people would just drop the word resolution because it means nothing these days. So really set people up for New Year's transformation. or if they start in March, let's work towards transformation. So I like
So
that you.
yeah, jump on and explain these because you know these people too. I mean, obviously, both of these people are sexy as hell in that first picture. So I'm sure they're feeling really good about going in a bathing suit and seeing their friends and their high school friends, and they're probably running marathons and really sucking the juice out of life. Or is there possible that they might have been frustrated, depressed, discouraged, you know? And again, tell the story on these two because it didn't just affect them.
Yep. So Ron is in the blue shorts. He's the man in the picture, and he lives down in Florida. And he was 78 pounds overweight, mid-60s on 4 or 5 medications. And really, that's a heart attack waiting to happen. And he knew that if he wanted to have, create some prevention and create quality and quantity years, he had to get the fat off. And he lost or released the weight in less than 5 months, and he got off all of his medications. And that was at least 10 years ago, because I've known him for 10 years. So now he's in his mid-70s. I see him every summer at our big, convention, and he's healthy, he's thriving, he has joy, and he has a lot more energy for his kids and his grandkiddos. And then Shirley is in the pink shirt. She released over 218 pounds. And that's phenomenal because most people that are 200 or even 100 pounds overweight, they feel like they've lost hope, they've tried everything, and they've gained and lost the same 50 to 80 pounds many times over. So for her to get rid of that 218 pounds is amazing. And I private messaged her the other day just to verify, did she have any surgery to remove any excess skin? And she said, absolutely not. So it's living proof. As you can see with Ron, the body shrinks back proportionately, and you don't get the flabby, saggy skin. So no surgery, no medications, it's just healthy eating. And that's the best way to burn fat.
And I noticed that too. I didn't have any saggy skin. The body, because again, the fat cells just shrink within themselves. And I mean, I was fat as hell. And it's amazing when it goes back with this program, to Jesse's point, this program was designed by experts who understood how the body stored fat and also how to properly release it. So Shane, you've dropped now. Go ahead and unmute Shane. Shane's been able to join us. He's the Master Chief I was telling you about. Works his butt off. Let me ask you as well, too, because you've already dropped, I think, 26 pounds. What has it done for you, and also what has it done for you and your energy? You got to unmute. I think you're muted at the top.
He goes to his picture and clicks the little arrow. You got your picture, Shane? You click the little arrow in the right corner.
I don't know if Chad can unmute you, but if so.
Yeah, I don't see that he's muted. He's something else has got him muted. It's not the webinar jam.
Okay, so hey Shane, go ahead and move your mouth, and I'm going to tell your story. Just pretend like you're talking. Okay, so start talking. Okay, well, as a master diver and master chief in the Navy, what I did is I worked in a very high stressful industry. Get up early, work hard, and next thing you know, by 1 o'clock I'm exhausted, and I put on 26 pounds. Super, super excited. No, seriously though, Shane has been a longtime friend. He's a major butt kicker, totally brings it, but it was putting pressure on his back, and it was just wiping him out. Next thing you know, he got on the program, and now he's dropped 26 pounds. He's doing it with his wife. She's lost 12. And give a thumbs up if you're excited you're doing this. Yeah, and then also, how about Leonard? Because I mentioned Leonard is also another Master Chief, probably the highest in the Navy. Yeah, and he's lost 10 pounds in 10 days. Feels great, rocking it. The program flat out works. So we are also, guys, I want you guys to recognize there is an epidemic. It is irrefutable. Currently, America is the #1 fattest country in the world. Mexico is doing their part to try and top us. They beat us in January, but we regained the crown in March. So we are the fattest nation in the world, battling it out, but that's not one that we want. So myself, Jesse, Gina, Chad, Shane, Katie, Monique, the different people are committed to helping turn that tide. This is a grid that's 3-4 years old, and you notice there's no more blue. We are a fat nation, and that's in Mississippi and West Virginia, 2 of our fattest states. Over 35% are obese. And as a nation, we're 36% obese now. 300,000 people per year are dying prematurely at some related. And so one of the things, if you want to turn around your life, turn around your health. Reaching a healthy weight has been proven to go ahead and improve countless different illnesses and ailments. Migraines, 57% resolved. What are some of the other ones? Type 2 diabetes, 83% resolved. When you drop the body fat, countless people are either going off their insulin with doctors' approval or reducing it dramatically. Gout, 72% resolved.
How about acid reflux, Mark? How many people are taking acid reflux medications because of their dietary choices at this point and overweightness?
Yeah, and people don't realize it, but something it's true, Chad. Asthma, heart disease, hypertension, high blood pressure, incontinence. There's a fun one, 44 to 88%. And so there's so many. And what about depression? How many people are depressed daily, especially right now over the holidays? Well, guess what? Your weight is a big part of it. Right now, if I took Gina, who's in great shape, or I took Jesse, and I strapped on 2 25, 40-pound dumbbells onto each hip, they would be exhausted by the end of the day. Lugging around that extra weight, we're not designed for it. So let's go ahead on this one. Gina, if you want to go ahead and cover this one, moving towards optimal health. What does that mean? Isn't it just, hey, I just want to lose the weight, or is there actually a system here? How do you keep it off?
Yeah, so the phase 1 is burning the fat, which Ron did a great job of, but a lot of people can lose the fat. They don't know how to keep it off. So phase 2 is creating a transition where we gradually pull out the meal replacement. We teach people what healthy foods to put in its place, and then maintenance. We want people to maintain that healthy weight, and it means practicing portion control. It means you can have wine and chocolate chip cookies again, but in moderation. Plus, we talk about water. Water is such I call it the nectar of the gods. It helps with digestion, it helps with metabolism, and it hydrates our organs. So our organs, it's like watering a plant. Yeah. The more hydrated the organs are, the better they're going to function. And then sleep. Sleep is a huge component to keeping a healthy weight, and it's also a big component on getting fat. So when people don't get enough sleep, their body creates more of the chemicals that makes them hungry the next day. So that whole phase 2, which most diets completely skip, we integrate it into the program. Plus, we work with mindset. What are your triggers, and how are you going to start dealing with them? Instead of using food as a coping method, what are some other helpful things you can use as coping methods and ways to express joy and sadness, and get in that phase 2, so it's a new lifestyle change.
Yeah, and Jesse, let me ask you as well. What do you think about the choices in the food? Now, granted, again, this is not cordon bleu. This is not some of the, those deals. This is a program to help people lose weight. And eating fatty, rich foods is one of the reasons 70% of the people are overweight. So you had made a comment to me about the program. Tell me about the food. Didn't you get sick and tired of it?
No, actually, what's interesting is that when I started it and I looked at the food, I looked at the protein bars, and I thought, wow, these are small. This isn't going to fill me. And one, I love them, and two, I really felt satisfied for a while. So that really surprised me. And then I just started looking at the different types of foods there are that appeal to me. And the oatmeal I love the oatmeal. I actually look forward to mornings just for that. And there's just different varieties of food there. I actually spoke with one of the ladies that are coming on board, and she's got, soy issues. She's got, chocolate issues. And there's so many different choices of food that you could actually get gluten-free. You can get food that actually suits your lifestyle, and it tastes great. Yeah, it's not cordon bleu like you said, but we're not going to go, take somebody who has over 100 pounds to lose, which I've had those clients as well, that are just going to eat, lettuce and tomatoes. It's not going to happen. So this is a great vehicle to be able to have good, nutritious food and be able to function throughout your day. And so I like it. I think it's really good, actually.
And I'll tell you what, from my side here, Mark, you guys can, it's not cordon bleu, but I'll tell you what, man, the pudding, that's a bomb diggity. Let me tell you, that is like the best item that they've got in my, from my personal opinion. The pancakes, if you're going to do the pancakes, get the chocolate chip pancakes. I tell you what, it is really, I thought the same thing. Oh, here's the selection. Am I going to get tired of eating the same stuff, or, having these? There is enough selection in there, and it tastes really good. I'm like, for something that is telling me that I'm making lean and green choices and in actually making conscious decisions, this feels really good to make those decisions. I don't feel like I'm punishing myself in the process, because the reality is I'm eating healthy and nutritious meals, and they still have flavor.
And remember the reason.
Sorry. I was just going to say the snacks. I'm a snacker, and I work from home, so there's oftentimes I just need something, and I love the snacks. And you get a variety kit, and the crackers. I feel like I'm cheating. Like, ooh, I get to have some crackers or some popcorn, and I love that they offer that as well. So for those times where you just need a little something to get you through.
Well, the other one I wanted to add as well is, remember why we're having this conversation. If you're overweight, we need to get real and honest about it. This is not the time to continue eating Big Macs and eating the way you did. That's how you got overweight. That's how I got fat. So at some point, there's a difference between losing weight and maintaining weight. And so the whole process is, how do we get the weight off properly, safely, and once and for all, and get you back to optimal health? And so for me, the other thing, Jesse, that you said, I'm so busy that in reality what I do is I load up my bottles of water and I get a stack of bars, and I sit here, and I know I'm supposed to take 5 minutes, but I'm so busy that when I'm on the program, I don't miss meals. You want to get fat? Start skipping meals. Watch your blood sugar drop, feel like crap, and then you binge. So one of the things, when I'm on this program, I don't miss meals. I keep them with me everywhere I go. I have 3 meals on me at all times. And it's so powerful to have that. So, Gina, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was going to say, I've been doing this for 10 years. I literally eat 3 MetaFast a day. It's my mid-morning snack, my afternoon snack. So bar at 10 o'clock, ready-to-drink shake at 3, and then at nighttime, maybe the brownie. And at 52 years old, I do have to really monitor what I eat so that I don't start to get that 50-year-old lady chubby belly. Yeah. And I love the food. You pick your favorites, and it's the least expensive and the most nutritious that I can find in one bar. So why not? It's too hard to find stuff at the grocery store to make sure the sodium and the potassium and the sugars and the fat. So 3 a day.
And I'd add on top of that, Gina, too. You and I had a talk. It's pretty funny because when I did the program, at first I craved the sweeter ones because my palate was used to that, and I didn't like some of the bars. And then by the end of the first month, the bars I didn't like on day 1 became my favorite bars, and then that was my favorite for 2 months. And then I went back to the other bar, and then I went to the soups. And I recommend you guys follow the instructions. I was telling Gina, I did 2 months on this without reading the instructions. And I went to Gina and I said, you know what? The soups taste crappy. She goes, or actually it was my coach. She goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's really crunchy. She goes, well, are you reading the instructions? And I was like, well, I didn't think about that. So she goes, oh, yeah. So you're supposed to cook it for 5 minutes. Yeah, I was cooking it for a minute, but I did a whole month with it that way because I wanted the outcome. And sure enough, then I realized I could season it, and I was like, again, coachability. So I started plugging in. She gave me a ton of great tips, and it tastes way better. And then that became my favorite soup. So it's pretty funny, but it works for people like me that don't follow directions too. So,
well, I want to, like, I'm going to continue. Like, I don't see me ever stopping this because, like you, Gina, I love the fact that everything that I need is in the food. And so to get, the bars and have them with me so that I've now conditioned myself to eat every 3 hours. So like you, Mark, I'll grab a bunch of bars and throw it in my purse because I don't know what my day will consist of. If I'm running around, running errands or doing stuff, I want to not have to skip meals. So it's so convenient that rather than, pay $3 to $4 for one bar at a, local store out here, I'll get my MetaFast ones, and I love them.
So lastly, I want to add one thing, Chad. Hold on, Chad. I want to add one more thing because Gina brought up a good point, and I hear this from time to time. People that say they can't afford it. Bottom line, that's nonsense. Number one, you can't afford not to. The average American spends $14.50 a day on fast food. They spend an average, write this down, $700 a month on food. You can Google it, go find it out. It's going to be a medium range of $500 to $700 per month per person for food in this country. So people like to pretend that, oh, you know, I don't spend that much. Yeah, you do. And it's like, before I did this, I spent $16.50 for one meal at Taco Bell. It's easy to do. So this program is half of that. So I not only get free coaching, I get my food, and I'm saving $300 to $400 a month, but more importantly, I'm getting my health back. So that's the other part too. And I'll go to show anybody, you know, if we got honest and dove into their budget, after you calculate your Starbucks, your cookies, your candy, all the food that you really buy and don't even realize, this will not only transform your body, it also starts giving you an extra $200, $300, $400 a month. So that's my soapbox. So Gina, go ahead and explain this one, because this one too it looks kind of confusing, but it's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's the two phases. The first phase is the reason people get fat is because they have more calories going in than calories going out. So they're eating a bunch of food, they're not really moving, and the fat has nowhere to go but residence on their body. So what we do is we lower the caloric intake with all the nutrients that you need. So it's low glycemic, low fat, low calorie, but really good protein, your good complex carbohydrates, your vitamins and minerals. So we reduce the caloric intake, so now you're expending more calories than what you're ingesting. And once you get to your goal weight, whether it's 20 pounds you want to lose, you can do that in a couple months. 100 pounds, most of our clients do that in 6 to 8 months. So you're not looking on being on this forever. And once you get to your goal weight, then we do that transition. So you see that in the purple phase, where that's where we gradually, it's a 4-week process. So we gradually pull out Medifast, put in whole foods, whether it's, you know, we're upping the protein, the fiber, we can integrate dairy there, more vegetables. So gradually bumping up your metabolism so that you're in maintenance. You know the healthy habits, again, of eating every couple hours. You know the healthy options to pick. You know what sugars to just really keep in moderation, plus your water, your sleep, your fitness. And so you're into a really good maintenance phase. So phase 1 is burning fat. Phase 2-ish is transition into, you know, full-on phase 2 maintenance.
Awesome.
It's effortless. If you tell yourself it's effortless, it'll be effortless. If you tell yourself it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. So I choose effort.
Exactly. And guys, this is a key part. I know Chad, Jesse, and a lot of our coaches earn $1,000 to $5,000 a month on their private practice, coaching practice. That skill set is still part of this program. I know Katie is on the call as well. That was her expertise. She's got her master's degree in it. She's a counselor for people with this. Shane is a master chief. He's got extensive training in working with people, helping people break past their fear, breaking past their blind spots. That's part of it, and we have a community of the best trained coaches on the planet that's a part of this for free. You don't have to pay for it. We want your success. And again, it's a proven plan that's been used with over 1 million people. This is no guesswork here. It works if you work it. So, and we're here to support you to help you guys get that outcome, because you're worth more than not living your optimal life and your optimal body. So this is the most effective. I'm compulsive about it. So I spent 30 years bodybuilding, training, lifting. I subscribed to 5 magazines, tested it, tried it. And when I found this, it was only my ego that kept me from really diving in. And then when I did, I was shocked. So it absolutely rocks, and that's why I do it. So Shane, are you able to talk at this point? Do we get you off mute?
Nope.
Not yet. Okay. So guys, do we have any questions? Because again, would you like to get started? When is now a good time for you to start claiming your power? Because again, there is no tomorrow. There's only right now. And the people that are going to live a healthy life tomorrow made the decision now. Your habits that we do now are going to determine the reality you get to live tomorrow. So currently, where you are right now is a result of your habits of yesterday. So if you want to make that decision, we're going to be here as well. And Shane, Chad, I think, is this the end of it? Our slides?
we have what do you want? So it's about making a declaration. What is it that you want to understand? What decision do you want to make so that you take action? The call to action in that, Mark, would be really the next slide is where do we go from here? And so hopefully you've joined with an outcome for today, and we've addressed and piqued your interest and allowed you to move closer to making a decision. So our call to action for you is to act on that decision. Reach out to the person who invited you into this. If it's Shane, you might want to pick up the phone because he's, got laryngitis apparently. But if somebody's invited you to this, it's because they care about you enough that they want to know an answer to where do you want to go from here, and you deserve answering that for yourself. So that's our request. What we can do from there is say thank you and open it up to anything else that you wanted to add here, Mark.
Yeah, do we have any questions? I don't know if we can see it, if the side thing's working. Do we have any questions that we wanted anybody ask?
Yeah, so if you have a question, just raise your little thumb, your hand, and that will allow us to put you onto the camera or audio, whichever you prefer, and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you. So if we've got questions, then I'm happy to put, pardon?
Type in the text box.
Type in the text box as well. You got it.
Okay, it says that. Okay, why am I funnier and more fun than Chad? Great question, Katie. Great question.
Yeah,
so
I get them a lot.
I was Navy and Chad was a Marine. That's really it. So, Shane is Navy as well, and it's like Semper Fi. We appreciate our Marine brothers, but it's a step up to be the Navy. So, okay, let's see other questions.
Oh, there's one.
Okay, I'm not seeing the questions.
We have a question here. Let's see. Gina, my screen keeps on freezing. Yeah, we took care of that.
Yeah, we've been trying to mute her out. No. Let me ask you guys, Shane, if we can get your audio, take a look up on the top. In my case, it's the top is the mute microphone. When I put my little thing at the top, all my bar will show up. See if you can unmute yourself. That's what I had to do. Gina, you've been doing this a long time. What is the single biggest question that you get?
Will I succeed? I mean, people ask all the time, will this work for me? I've tried everything, will this work for me? That is music to my ears when people say, I've tried everything and nothing works. I'm like, you have arrived to paradise, my dear, because I've never seen it not work. Even with people who are on multiple medications, whether it's cortisone or thyroid, it's amazing that if people do the program, it works. The only reason it doesn't work is people don't do the program correctly. So when people they have failed so many times, they've lost hope. So I always say, just give us one more chance. Let's just do it for 30 days. In 30 days, they can comprehend, and one more try, they're willing to do. And bam, they do it correctly, they have success. And it's pretty cool to see that the gray fog lift where they finally realize that this will work for me. And I worked with people 150 to 200 pounds overweight, 449 pound, 60-year-old man in Orange County, and who was eating 3,000 to 5,000 calories a day. And he wasn't hungry. He lost over 150 pounds, and he got to start wearing regular men's shirts with a belt as opposed to a big old Hawaiian shirt for decades. So the number one, will this work for me? And we can give a hearty yes.
Awesome. Jesse, you're one of the top coaches in the planet. What is the most common question you get? People wanting to lose weight, people wanting to transform their body. What's the biggest question you get?
Well, I think to Gina's point, will it work? But also, how can I do this and keep it off? I can get to my weight, but then what happens? I feel like I've done this before, and then I get to my ideal weight, and then it only lasts for so long, and I come back. And that's what's great about this program. And to your point, Gina, what's so exciting about this is, like you said, it works. And it's not just eating the food, but it's also conditioning the new behavior of eating every 3 hours and creating the healthy habits, so that then when you are at your ideal weight, you can maintain it off because now you've built a new muscle. Because what people don't realize is they're all scatterbrained, and like you said, Mark, you know, when you're busy, you skip meals. You realize, even to your point, we've talked about this, where you're like, oh my God, I forgot, I haven't eaten, you know, and that's not healthy, because then your body goes into shock, into starvation mode, and now whatever you put in your stomach, it's going to grab and attach it to fat, and people don't realize that that happens, and they're wondering, well, gosh, I barely ate yesterday. Why am I not losing weight? And it's because your body is completely confused, and it doesn't know when you're going to feed it again. So again, the great part of this program is that it's not just the food, it's also the system that's created along with it. It's the support, it's, you know, teaching you new behaviors, and, you know, in the end we will share recipes so that we can start learning how to create, you know, better lean and greens, you know, so that they're enjoyable, and now you can take it and have a sustainable, healthy life as opposed to just a program.
Awesome.
Hey, Jesse, I want to add to Jesse, because that's perfect. That is a huge concern. How am I going to keep it off? And so what I would say is, okay, once you're in maintenance, if you see the scale go up 5 pounds, 6 pounds, call us right away, because we're their health coach for life. And so catch it at 5, 6 pounds, we reel it back in. Are they, you know, pigging out at night, going back to 3 scoops of ice cream? Are they skipping breakfast? So we help them, remind them, what are those healthy habits that burn the fat? And just tweak it so that they don't get to 30 pounds, 50 pounds, 80 pounds, and then they call us and say, I gained it all back. So just giving them that, what you think it would be common sense, but it's not. So just saying, when you hit 5 or 6 pounds over, call me right away, and we'll do a quick little MetaFast blitz to get it off, and you're back to where you want to be.
Yep. Chad?
Yeah, so, you know, Shane, because he still has a voice here, and he says, if is not an action word. It works when you work it every time, and that's what we let off on. And, you know, Shane is a great testimonial that he is absolutely doing that. But let's also not forget, you know, we don't have people that are always 100 pounds overweight. We've got people like myself that, you know, recovering from hip surgery, because I'm shocked at the story you gave, Gina, the guy eating 5,000 calories a day. That takes work, because when I was on the Ironman circuit, which is hence the hip surgery, that was like one of the hardest things for me, was trying to consume that many calories. Man, that is a lot of consume. I mean, that's just constant eating. But, you know, right now I'm restricted from doing any exercise. And so a healthy mind and healthy body are extremely important right now to prevent any depression from coming in. But you also, I've got people that have come to me and say, you know, I've only got, you know, 5 or 10 pounds that I want to lose, and I don't want to put that back on. As well as maybe you have a spouse that is an ideal place right now, and they want to maintain it, but they want to be supportive. For myself, with the holidays coming up, I'm getting ready to jump on a plane to go visit family, because I got to get up in that snow. That's Christmas isn't Christmas without snow to me. So I got to get up there, and I know that I'm going to be bombarded with a lot of really bad nutritional choices between parking at the airport and actually landing that plane. And so I can prevent and stave off all of that by having those choices in my backpack, easy to access. And so let's not forget, for people that travel extensively like myself, that allows me to be able to honor my decisions without it being painful.
Hey, also, guys, I believe Tamara, Chad, if you can check, Tamara had a question. I'm not sure how to unmute it or get Tamara's question. I think if you can reach out to Tamara, one of the nicer ladies you'll ever get the pleasure to meet.
Yep, let me see what I can do here.
So let's see if we can get Tamara on there.
She's got to raise her hand, and I can do that.
She did, but then it disappeared. She had a question.
Oh, okay, Tamara, raise it again one more time.
You got to go like this. I've been doing that, and it's not doing anything on my computer. There it is.
I see. Okay, Tamara, are you there?
Try it again. Oh, that's it.
I just made her. Here we go.
Tamara, hit your unmute. It should be at the top. The mute microphone will pop up, and unclick it.
I wonder if we're having some technical challenges with that today.
See if she can write it and then type it in the toolbar. If she's make her an admin or whatever, I think we can get a question.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's got. I've given her the access. I see that it's there, but it seems like we've got some audio issues that aren't coming through for some reason here today. In the chat, I don't. Let's see. Go ahead and put it in the chat.
Let's see. Oh, I think
Nope, she disappeared now.
I accidentally hit it. I bumped her out. I was trying to see about getting her to see if we could get her in the view. Huh. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Tamara has a question. Okay. Hey, Tamara, just reach out to me on Facebook, and I'd be happy to answer your question. I'm not sure why we're having an issue, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, we will have Tamara catch up with one of us here, probably you, Mark, and then any other questions, reach out to the person that invited you. If you can't get hold of them, we are 18, and so you can actually reach out to any one of us. You'll see in the replay the ability to submit a question, and so feel free to do that, and we will make sure that we are able to follow up with you. Any final parting words, Mark, or shall we release people to an early holiday celebration?
Thank you guys for spending your time with us, putting up with the technical difficulties, and again, that's like 2 C's, I think, is what he's doing. This is some Navy signal. So all the Navy guys would know what that is. But thanks for sharing your night with us. And again, let's get your health back. Let's go ahead and help you transform from, if you're good, let's get you to great. If you're not good, let's get you up to good. Let's get you back where you want to be, because the only thing limiting you is your belief that you can't have it. So if you want optimal health, we can help. You want optimal finances, we can help. You want an optimal life, let's help. So let's rock it. Let's make 2016 the most powerful year, the transformational year of your life. And you couldn't have gotten a better group of people to help you do it. So reach out to us over on Facebook, and we'll go ahead and I'll see if I can shut down the internet over there as well. So have a great night, you guys. If I don't see you again, have a merry and blessed Christmas, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks, Chad, for hosting as well.
Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Nice.